Hello, welcome everyone to The Distraction. I'm Jeremy Lambert, joined, as always, by the Feature Slayer, the Chubby Chief, the Ratings Topper, the Panty Dropper, last longer than an everlasting Gobstopper, JJH, Joseph Hulbert. Joseph, how are you?
Wow, I'm doomed to fail now, right? That was. Where do we go from here, Jeremy?
Jeremy, we go right here, Joseph. This is where we go.
What's up, Jeremy and Joe? How you doing? It's Gilbert, the WWF's longest reigning light heavyweight champion. What's up, man? So I understand I got contacted by a friend of yours that you have a little internet show there, and well, he asked me to do him a favor. So, without further ado, I hope you can get this. And, hey, Tank Bearclaw, you got it, brother. This one's for you. This is Gilbert, and welcome to the Destruction. I said it wrong. Distraction. I said destruction. It's distraction. You gotta get it right, man. What the hell is wrong with you? This is Gilbert, and welcome to the Distraction. How's that, brother? Is that good enough for you? Yeah. Let's do it one more time. Just you cut it and get the right one, okay? All right. Hey, this is Gilbert, and welcome to the Distraction. Hey, brother, how was that? Was that good enough for you? Can you cut that out of there? Yeah. All right, well, Tank, you take it easy, and you guys say tank the tanks. Or say tanks to tank. That's it. Yeah. All right. Look, you guys have a ball, man. This is Gilbert and Tanks. Oh, man. Look at how. See ya.
Booty Pro Wrestling legend, Gilbert.
It will never not be funny to me that he does it like you're actively talking with him as he records your cameo. It will never not be funny to me that in the midst of a cameo, which is supposed to be like a direct message, he's like, "How is that? Is that good? Can I do?" Is that enough for you? It's glorious, man. It's so much better that he messes it up than if he did it correctly, right? So much better.
We are here to celebrate our 1-year anniversary. Joseph, we've been allowed to do this show for a whole year. Why? How?
We've tried to get it cancelled so many times. We've done so many attempts, so many
I thought we were canceled after last week. I thought I was fired. I thought it was over with.
People liked that show. Incredible scenes. What a triumph for us that was. People actually liked the show that only in our minds it was like, this is such a niche, absurd idea for a wrestling podcast. How are people going to react to it? And it seems like everyone liked it. I mean, I don't know, but it seems that way, right?
Yeah, it was well received. Sean messaged me. He's like, "I'm finally watching it. This is tremendous." I was like, "So I'm not fired. This is good. Thank God."
So it's worth. Would you say, Jeremy? In fear of getting ahead of myself here, that's like your highlight of year one. Like, that's our peak, would you say? I mean, I know technically year two, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it would have to be because, I mean, that was kind of like the original idea. Real quickly, let me get plugs and stuff out of the way. Fightful.com, go there, Fightful Select, subscribe, leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to youtube.com/Fightful. After this show, we're going to be on Twitch TV, twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming. We're going to do a post show. We'll talk wrestling and basketball and more stuff on that. For this show, we're honestly we're just going to reminisce about our first year, wonder how we haven't been canceled. We have cameos from the pals. We'll see what they have to say. I have no idea what any of them are. The Gilbert one was the only one I knew because we'd used it before from our buddy Tank Bearclaw. Everything else that got sent in, I don't know what is said. So very scared. Send in a super chat. We'll of course read those on the air. We will comment on all of those. We got one from Throwback right here. Happy anniversary, guys. You bloody awesome people have worked hard for everything. Keep breaking doors down and taking over the world. Thank you guys for being great. Congrats. Thank you, Throwback. We appreciate all your support, man.
We're taking over the world, Jeremy. This is news to me.
Apparently.
There you go. News to me. Also, credit to us as two bearded white guys for breaking down doors and barriers.
NXT UK, brother. We're just breaking down all those doors.
Listen, man, that's definitely the thing we're doing. Yeah, that's us, right?
Yeah. Hannah, it's not a super chat, but I like Hannah enough to say, see, it was good. See, last week's show, good. And she called me Woody Page. And I thought that was the best compliment she's ever given me.
I mean, I'm glad that the comment was it was good, because I do think anything beyond that is probably where we start getting excessive. So I appreciate that sort of grounded compliment. I agree. It was good. I thought so too.
Tank says, here's the more destruction. Yeah. Breaking down doors, causing destruction.
Is that good enough for you, bro? Is that good enough?
That's my favorite part of that video. Like, that good enough? Let's do it again so you can cut it.
He's talking to the camera, his own camera, like it's like a producer for a skit, right? He's like, how's that for you? Does that work?
Have you, and I'm sure you haven't, but have you seen his other cameo videos?
I have not, no.
So last night, I was looking for the cameo because I didn't save it. And so I went on his cameo page to like find it. And so I was clicking through different ones, and they all open with the thing. All of them, every single one of them opened that way.
He does that like 8 times an hour.
Yeah.
It's truly, it's amazing. I mean, any time, like going to the length of getting this cameo is awesome in itself. Like, but the fact that it came out that well, dude, how perfect is that for our podcast? It couldn't be better, right? It's great.
Super Sick Bud Ryan says, sincere congrats on the year of excellence. One of the only good things of 2020, discovering you two, fan for life, no matter what direction you guys take. Hopefully we stay in the same direction, Bud Ryan, because I don't know what else we're gonna do if we go in a different direction. But thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yes, 2020 sucked for pretty much everybody, if not certainly on a global level. Maybe I had good things that happened personally, but for the most part, 2020 just kind of sucked. So if we helped enjoy or helped improve things for anybody, awesome. We were talking off air, like this helped us so much. Like
right.
Anytime we were having a bad day, we knew Thursdays, and then eventually at one point it was like every day, or at least like every other day, but eventually Tuesdays are just like, yeah, today sucks, but I just get to talk with my friend about wrestling, basketball, shitty movies for an hour and a half, and it makes everything feel better. It really was a distraction for us more than anything.
It really is, yeah. Like the feeling is mutual, right? Like I can't tell you how much it's helped in the absolute most consensus shittiest year ever to be able to like log on to social media and see people saying that I'd made their day better. Like, that's the coolest thing, right?
Yeah.
We talk about this a lot, Jeremy and I. I mean, on air, we are most certainly dickheads, but like genuinely, it does mean a lot when people say to us like we've helped their day. It's like, that's crazy, because we're really just popping ourselves.
Yeah.
So if you share our pop, that's a big win for us. So yeah, I agree. It's mutual.
I mean, Throwback says also, thank you for helping others in the community. It's a detriment. I don't know, is that the right word there? Detriment to our characters?
It is not, but I mean, in some ways, it is a detriment. Yeah, I'm with him.
This being a year, it makes other podcasters and content creators like me hope to reach this goal. Again, congrats. Yeah, it's always funny. Yeah, Sean says throwback detriment is a bad thing. It's not good. It's always, I don't know, like awkward to me when people are like, hey, can you check this out? What do you think of this? Can you help me? Or like, you helped me so much with this. Like, it's much appreciated, obviously. And if anybody needs help with anything, I think I speak for Joseph. Like, we're more than willing to help out with stuff if you need something. But like, I always just feel awkward because I never see us as like a big deal. Or just, like you said, like we're just doing our show to pop ourselves, and people enjoy it.
It's great. It's one of the big things that I want to do, but it doesn't make it any weirder. Like, I'm with you, bro. Like, when people actively say you've helped, it's like, I don't know how, but that's cool. It's saying, I mean, we both want to make things better, right? So there's that. Yeah.
JJ says, happy 1 year anniversary. You guys are the best. Every Tuesdays and Thursdays, I look forward to the most. Love you both. Thank you, JJ. Give me a second, JJ, and I'll message you something. Brian Morey says, congrats on the 1 year mark. Thank you, Brian. Do you know?
He's a Twitch subscriber recently, right?
Oh,
Brian?
Yes.
There you go.
Throwback says, sorry, voice texting at work.
That's fine. It's fine, dude. I agree. It's a detriment sometimes.
Yeah, voice texting is a detriment. We're a detriment. Yeah. Like I was saying, like how it's helped us. I was telling Joseph off the air, but like when my ex and I split, like we did a show that afternoon, like literally 2 hours after we decided that we were just gonna not continue the relationship. And I was like, well, I have a show to do still. And we had Blake Murphy from The Athletic on, and it was like, if it was just us, I probably would have been like, hey, I'm not like feeling it. Let's push it back. And I'm sure you would have understood, but we had Blake on. And so I was like, I don't really want to like cancel on him. So we'll do it. And we did it. And like, it was great. But I told Joseph off air afterwards, I was like, dude, I just zoned out on it. Cause I didn't say anything to you before the show. I told you after. But like that helped me forget about everything going on for a little while. And yeah, I zoned out during the show, but like, it really did just make me remember of like, all right, there's some shit going on in my life right now, but for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, like I'm just here to talk wrestling and basketball and try to entertain people. And like, that's happened a lot. Like, I know Joseph's been dealing with personal stuff. I've been dealing with personal stuff. And like, but every time we do this show, it just helps, at least for me, like it helps me forget all of that shit for however long we're doing the show.
Yeah. And that's why I love it's mostly comedic, but I love the constant basketball style, put the ball in their hands reference. There's been many times where one of us has to just spot up in the corner, right? Like for whatever reason, one of us isn't on that day. This just, stuff goes on. And it's always fun. The other one is always so willing to be like, okay, I've got it today, bro. You're cool. Like I've had to ask Drew that many a time. So including a Wrestle Kingdom review a few weeks ago, I don't even remember being on. So like there's that. We're going through the sort of the heavier stuff. So I apologize, folks. We'll talk about some of the great memories. But these are important memories to us because they're what show meant something to us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in the summer, I missed a week of this show. I needed to have a break. Like, not because the show was wearing me down, because I wasn't sure where I was at in this scene, in this whole landscape. And I'm still often not. Like, genuinely, I consider at least once every 2 weeks just like getting out because of the stuff that surrounds. But the thing that always keeps coming back is this show. And it was when I took a week off that I really appreciated that, right? Like, I need this show, man, as an outlet. Like, whether no one's watching it or 500 people watching it, I need to keep going back to this show because this is the escape. This is our distraction. So for ups and downs, it's been there for us. And there's this year, man, there was certainly some downs. So it's been awesome. It's really been cool.
Speaking of the Wrestle Kingdom review, and I will say kind things about this man after, well, depending on what he says, Carlos has a cameo. Carlos Tor.
Well, guys, 1 year of the distraction, 1 year of the insanity, the crazy moments, good and bad. But man, you guys did it. I am so proud of you guys for going 1 full year of the distraction. It's been a hell of a ride. I'm so happy and so proud of you guys and hope there is many, many more years to come of the distraction. Jeremy, Joe, thanks for having me on recently to discuss Wrestle Kingdom, I should say a major Japanese wrestling event. I think that's what we called it. So again, thanks so much for everything. Hope you guys stay safe during this pandemic, and hopefully you guys get more and more years of the distraction.
I don't know if we need more and more years, but I mean, I'm planning to do this for at least another like 25. I don't know about you.
Right. Yeah, no, I think 3 decades is a sort of a fair just assessment.
Yeah.
Carlos is awesome, right? What an awesome guy.
So Carlos, like, he was doing news with me at the time, and doing this show takes away from me doing news, and I always feel bad about that because I was hired to write news. Like, that's what I'm here for. But then we started the show, and then we started doing more of this show, and I was like, man, like, I'm gonna miss like the news writing stuff. And Carlos would have to cover when we would do these shows, and like, I always appreciated that because if he wasn't around to like cover that stuff, I don't know if we could have been able to do as many shows as we were able to do. And now Robert DeFelice does the same thing of like, I'm supposed to be doing news, and I do news very well, but I enjoy this show more than doing news. I don't think that's any type of secret. But without them, like, kind of being around, like, I don't know if we'd be able to do this show as often as we do for as long as we do each week.
Yeah, and I think rooted in that is one of the things I like about this show as far as what message we kind of get out there. This show is between two people, one of which does news for the best site in wrestling, in my humble opinion. And trust me when I tell you, I am not biased. I truly don't give a shit. Okay, I'm just being honest. That's my honest take. If someone on the outside, I don't read enough of it to tell you, like, why? That's my fault, okay? and it's the other person is someone who tried to do some news, wasn't able to do it. And I like the dynamic. I always try to stress to feel like that gig's really hard, guys. Like that gig is really, really difficult. And anytime I can get that across, I try to. And I think that this show gives a nice outlet for that because, like, you see it when Jeremy's having to cover these weeks where it's like, it's just awful. And sometimes with wrestling, especially, like, you ain't covering the coolest of things a lot of time, right? Like, there's been, especially in the last year. So I like that element of our show that, like, if anyone that just scrolls through, I love that now when you have a great headline, everyone's, oh, that's Jeremy's headline. I love that. That makes me happy. So there's that at least.
We have JJ on the stream, our good friend, Jobber JJ. We don't call him Jobber anymore. You've lost the Jobber title in our mind. JJ, how are you?
Hello.
JJ on brand
Jamie.
with technical difficulties.
Finally a real star on the show.
Yeah. JJ, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. Just enjoying my evening.
We're well.
The internet connection is very distraction. It makes me proud to be a Brit, the Brit portion of this show.
I noticed that when he was backstage, I could see that it was like shaky, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect. It fits our brand perfectly."
JJ, quick question: you're the best supporter of this show, okay? And that's not a knock on anyone else. I think everyone would agree. You've even made your YouTube like profile pic our terrible program, which is wild to me. If you could pull out one memory for you personally from this terrible show that you inexplicably support, what comes to mind as a funny bit that you can go back to and laugh at?
Just your screen freezes. I just have to take shots.
Great. Well, thankfully, anyone that's watching this now will know, JJ, your screen is froze infinitely more than mine ever will, and there's a bunch of caps I can get when I revisit this one day. So
yeah, JJ, you're gonna have to go back and rewatch this and screen cap yourself freezing all the time.
I will.
It'll be revenge finally at last, but that's fine. My face is very funny. I agree.
No, but also just highlights is just watching the show every Tuesday and Thursday, hanging out with you and the Fightful family.
That's cool, man. I mean, that's really cool for us. That's because that's the way we look at it. We're hanging out with you guys. That's super cool.
JJ, I wanted to have you on to say thank you directly and personally because, as Joseph said, I think you were the biggest supporter of this show, and like we appreciate all the support from everybody, but specifically you because you're posting the screenshots, you're donating super chats. We talk on the DMs and like. Just thank you, man. Like again, and you always say kind things about us, how much you appreciate us and how we are a distraction for you. And again, it's always awkward for me when I hear that kind of stuff. But again, thank you for your support of that because it does make us feel like big stars when you say that. I don't fully believe it, but like it does. So thank you, man. That's
all right. Thank you for being big stars to me.
Also, thank you for always tweeting the link and reminding me I have a show to do. Because otherwise, I'd have missed most of these shows. He'll put like the UK time in there too. I'm like, oh, thanks, JJ. I remember I'm doing a show now, so thank you for that too.
JJ's getting retweeted by the Fightful account and stuff now. Like JJ, he really is like our PR guy at this point. That's a tough gig. That's a tough gig to be our PR guy. JJ, anything else, buddy?
No, nothing else. Just thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. And you're always going to be here watching.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it, JJ. JJ also, to further what he's done for us, he sent us a cameo by an AEW legend.
Greetings and salutations. It's your man CD, the fallen angel Christopher Daniels. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida right now. Here I am right on the waterfront, and I want to take this opportunity to say congratulations to Jeremy and Joe for your 1-year anniversary on the Distraction podcast. Your pal JJ tells me that every time he listens, you make him grin, you make him laugh, and you have made 2020 enjoyable, even though it's been a dumpster fire of a year. So thank you so much for making it enjoyable, making it tolerable, being entertaining. You guys are great. You guys are big stars. JJ loves you both. He wanted me to make a heart symbol, but I'm holding my phone, so the best I can do is that. I hope that's good enough for you. Just congratulations. Keep going. Keep entertaining everybody. Keep everybody laughing and smiling and grinning. And 2021 is going to be a much better year. So thanks very much for all your hard work, for all your entertainment. I'll see you later.
Christopher Daniels confirmed. We're big stars, Joseph.
Jeremy, I now am okay, guys. For those of you that are like only watch the Thursday show, whatever, that's fine. But like was it last week? JJ was like, I'm friends with Christopher Daniels, and I was like, I want to know what this dynamic is with Christopher Daniels. And now I understand the whole bit. It makes sense to me. By the way, thank you to JJ, but also Christopher Daniels is awesome, right? That's actually one of the good guys right there. That was great. That was great fun. Wow, this is a big star event. This is big time.
Drew Nicholas, big super chat. My God, thank you, Drew. Congratulations, two brothers that have made Twitter and YouTube better places. You're both incredible. So happy to call you both friends because of who you both are. You've made genuine impact in our lives. Thank you and love you both. Thank you, Drew. We love you as well.
Support Drew's stuff too. If you guys on Twitter, is he at Big Money Drew? Is that at? I think
so. Yeah.
So anyway, if you go to like my I'll retweet his thing.
Yeah.
You can find but retweet his stuff, makes videos, writes articles, super cool dude, working hard. Support those people, you know.
Throwback says, best part is the Saudi review with Sean. It'll live forever and is awesome. Bloody hell, just burnt myself. Please don't burn yourself. Throwback. Thank you again, guys. Bruins win tonight. I mean, the Saudi review with Sean was like our coming out party, right? Like, Our show had only been going for maybe like a month, and Sean was like, hey, do you want to do the Saudi review? Because, it'll help promote your show and stuff. And I mean, we did it, and I don't think we could have imagined how it was going to turn out, as we're just cackling because Goldberg won the title and Sean is going on a big rant about, the booking. He's trying to talk about the booking and how it's terrible. And we're just like, it's fine. It's set up doors. It's whatever. And we got called trolls. We were trolls, Joseph.
It's so incredible that we happen to be on, there's like 3 or 4 nights a year where as a serious wrestling analyst, you have to bring down the hammer, right?
Yeah.
It's like, this is enough. This is indicative of so many problems. It's wrong. It's immoral. It's terrible. And then it just so happens we're on that show. And it was an adventure, my friend. It was great. I agree with you. That's like if you're doing like a timeline, that's like the first big mark to make, right? When we went pro Goldberg on the Fightful post review of a terrible wrestling event. That was great.
That review was something else. And then the pandemic was like shortly after that. And then we had the idea for daily distractions. We were legit going to try to do this show every day. And Sean was like, I don't know about every single day. But we did do it like 3 times a week. And we did the tournament. Remember the tournament, Joseph?
Yes, I do. I think I still have like the screenshots I sent to you to use. I think I still have them on like desktop somewhere. And I just never, they're just there, you know. I remember it being so obvious Daniel Bryan was going to win from like round 1. And it was like, let's just keep doing this 140 person bracket. It was just where it filled time, you know. The thing is, we knew that everyone needed something each day because that was like when everyone was still adjusting, right? It was brand new. Oh my God,
very early.
And we needed stuff to do too. So it was like, we'll do this. We also, I spoke about this recently on Twitter, but it's like, bro, I remember talking to Jeremy and being like, man, like when Mania's done, I assume WWE will just like, have a couple months off, be back when everything's back to normal. It's like, dude, little did we know that in our first year of existence, we would only review like 2-3 months of normal wrestling. And then the rest would be this. So there you go. It was a wild time, definitely.
I mean, that was the other reasoning for the Daily Show is we thought just things would like stop. And so we're like, oh, well, the site's going to need content, right? So just let us do a show every day. And it turns out like I felt busier than ever during that time with news stuff, just writing about, oh, WWE is going to keep going, Florida, COVID, governors, all this stuff. And it was just like, oh my God, this is madness, absolute madness. But from the Daily Show, like we got the movie review podcast out of that, which is now music, television, not basically a second distraction show. Basically, yeah. I mean, it's fitting, on this week, a week of celebration. We turned in perhaps our most appalling Tuesday show yet, in which I just opted at 15 minutes, like, done with this. Let's just talk about, fire or whatever.
I mean, it's fitting. It's on brand again, right? It's on brand. What are you going to do?
A cameo from our buddy Phil, who's been on the show, who was just excited to talk basketball, and we'll talk basketball here shortly.
Yo, Joe, Jeremy, congratulations to a year of the distraction. Can't believe it's been around that long. Here's to another year of Gilbert and hardcore Japanese legend Luther, whoever you guys have got coming to the show. And here's to more success in the future.
Phil, clearly, like, why did I get asked to do this?
The best line in that was one I agree with. I just can't believe it's been around that long. It's just inexplicable. I'm with you, Phil. I can't even, bro. It's crazy to me too. But yeah, Phil's great. Another person you need to support. Does great work. He's like me if I was like good at like staying on track and being committed to stuff. He's very, very talented guy.
Phil is great. One of the things that like I think I've spoken about this before, but like I never wanted to do audio or I never wanted to do video podcasts because I was like never comfortable on video. And we turned this into a video pod, and now like I can't imagine this being just audio because we do so many different like visual bits that, like it just doesn't work. And actually Bud Ryan says the TK poses, Sasha taunt, mimicking moves. When I stood up, the boys are back on their feet, ready to pop. Like I can't imagine this being like an audio podcast now because it's just so many visual bits. But as I've grown more comfortable of doing this, and Sean has given me, for some reason, more responsibilities of like, hey, do the NXT, AEW post shows and stuff. Like Phil was one of the first people that I wanted to do a post show with because we did the Double or Nothing show together, whatever the Stadium Stampede show. That was me, Phil, and Sean. And then when I started doing them solo, I was like, Phil, come do one of these shows with me because he's absolutely tremendous.
It's interesting, like some of the visual bits. I often wonder what it's like for the percentage of our audience that just listens. Like a vivid memory for me in Distraction, in fear of putting myself over here, it's like when we was at like an hour and 10 minutes on a show, and we legitimately, I just wouldn't let the Undertaker bit go, and we did 20 minutes of this show was just built on the Undertaker's farewell and the arm going up. And I always think, what was it like for people that just listen to this show? Because we just kept cycling back. It was incredible. It was great.
Yeah, Sean. Let's not reveal all the secrets here, Sean.
Hey, brother.
Yeah. The Undertaker bit that was a 30-second bit, and somehow it went 30 minutes, and yeah, that led to the arm pose that I did. To me, that was like a really fitting moment of like, why do people watch this show? Because it was all that happened was I went back to it once and you popped and I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to keep doing this until we get to like an hour and 30. And it would just, wherever you would go, I would somehow get back to the Undertaker. It was tremendous. On a show where you normally throw me off balance, that particular moment, I had the ball in my hands. It was great. Ray asks if I have a wrist tat. Yeah, have people not noticed that I have a wrist tattoo? It's
been there the whole time.
Yeah, it hasn't gone anywhere. Like I've had it for a few years. It's a J, but like an infinite J. That's all it is. That's my only tattoo.
It's for me, brother.
Yeah, that's my tattoo to Joseph. Speaking of bits that it was a 30-second idea and we somehow stretched it into more. Lord TLC, our good friend Hannah, sent in a Kim.
Big congrats to Jeremy and Joe for 1 year of the Distraction. This means that it has been an entire year of me trying to figure out what Jeremy is blackmailing Sean with to let him continue to do this show. Pretty sure it's just because everyone loves Joe so much. Joe, who is not as old as he led me to believe. I'm still upset. You guys are great. The show is great. Congrats. I hope you have many more years. That's not true. I do not hope you have many more years to come. Congrats.
All right, off me with the that's not true.
I have to say, Jeremy, I'm really enjoying the element of shame as these videos come in, right? The element of sort of like, oh, God. They try hard, bless them. This sends something in.
It's so awkward. Andrew, let me DM you, Andrew. It's so Andrew, come on the show and say nice things about us. It's so awkward, like emailing all of our friends who have been on the show and just being like, hey, we've been allowed to do this show for a year. Can you say like nice things or bury us or just say whatever you want to say? Like it's super, super awkward to do that with all of our friends.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I mean, I just appreciate people doing it. Like, I would definitely find a way to be like, no, phone camera's just broke, no way. So I appreciate it. I also enjoy just the vowed burials, because really we expect burials, right, Jeremy? That's what we're here to do, right? Here to get
I'm shocked we have not gotten enough. Like, there haven't been enough burials in my estimation. Like, where are they? We have more cameos, but I feel like a couple people are going to bury us, and I'm hoping that's true.
I mean, I'm really excited to see what TK says, because I spoke to him last night, and I made a point of putting Dynamite over to make sure that he would, like, do the same for us. But we'll see.
Give me 1 second, Andrew. I'm DMing you right now. Yeah, I mean, TK, you're mad at TK, aren't you?
No, we're back on track. There was an issue. I reached out to him about why they picked 4 of the worst promos of the year for their top 5 promos, and he was like, "Not me, brother. Bleacher Report." I was like, "Okay, cool. No worries, TK. I'm back on." I called up Demore. I said, "Sorry, I'm getting off the plane now. I'm heading back to Jacksonville." And that was that.
I thought you were switching sides to Impact. I mean, they got a big show this weekend.
I think Demore is an incredible defensive coach. He is, and I love playing for him. But you got to contend when you're at my age, right? I mean, as Hannah touched on it, I'm young, but let's be honest, I'm really, really old. So I need rings. That's what I need here, Jeremy. If we're being honest.
I mean, we've hung a couple banners together.
We have, but like, Impact isn't the place for banner. It's for putting up empty stats. If we're being honest with ourselves, right? Hard to kill, though, brother. Imagine a franchise be called Hard to Kill. Just always in the lottery, hard to kill.
JJ says, I've rewatched, got screenshots. Sorry for the issues. Don't apologize, buddy. Had them all day. Christopher Daniels did the perfect cameo. When you sent that like a couple of weeks ago, and I never watched it because I wanted to be surprised for like all of these cameos. So that was a great cameo by Christopher Daniels. I did not expect him to put us over that much. Now, if I ever interview him, I'll be like, hey, remember you did a cameo for us? And he'll be like, no, what are you talking about?
He's the best. Like, of all the wrestlers you could have chosen, that, because what's funny about that one is like, Daniels isn't a guy we even talk about a lot, because like, what is there to say about that dude at this point, right?
Yeah.
But I will tell you this much. So, Jeremy, as you know, tomorrow is my 4-year anniversary of joining Fightful, right?
Yes.
And I want to say it was 2018 when he won the title in ROH. I want to say when he got the final, the big like world title win.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite moments on Fightful was right in that article and him seeing it. I think MVP actually shared it, WWE style MVP to him. And he complimented the site on it. And that was one of my favorite moments. So even though JJ probably did not realize this, that was actually even neater for me. We all love the Christopher Daniels. He's great. That was tremendous.
Daniels has been great for so long that you're right. Like, we don't talk about him that much because, I mean, he is what he is at this point of his career in AEW, but he's been so consistent for so long that you never hear a bad word about the guy either. Like, he's just awesome.
Yeah. Like the bit we just did about Impact and AEW and stuff, I'm genuinely happy that he's now like a long-term fit backstage and on screen for a winning franchise. And what I mean by that is a relatively competent wrestling promotion, right? Like, good for Chris, man. He's stuck around in a lot of places, and I don't think he ever got the respect he deserves. So that's awesome. Yeah, very cool.
We have a cameo from one-time Distraction co-host. I don't even know if you've ever interacted with this person, Joseph.
Hey guys, congratulations on your 1-year anniversary. I'm very happy and proud of you that you continued this for a whole year. Congratulations. I don't know why you guys have a show on Fightful and I don't. I mean, that's a little kind of ridiculous, but we all know some questionable decisions are being made at Fightful, so, But either way, I'm happy for you, I guess. Just kidding. I'm happy for you guys. Congratulations. May you be blessed with all of Taylor Swift's beautiful music, words, and lyrics. Anything else that I want to say? Nope, that's it. Bye, guys.
Wow. Never interacted, can't confirm.
Yeah, I didn't think the week you mentioned earlier, the week you took off was when Denise was on the show to do the Taylor Swift stuff with me. I mean, she's right. Why doesn't she have a show? And we have 4.
I believe there is actual, I mean, I may be wrong about this, but for a moment there, I had starred on all but 2 episodes of Distraction, and they were the highest rated programs we've ever done. I believe is what happened. But there you go. What are you going to do?
Andrew.
Oh, the GOAT. Here he is.
Yes.
Congratulations, man, on the 4 year. Had to stop through and make a quick cameo. Tell both of you guys, congratulations, man. Very proud of the both of you. Made it a 4 year. Shout out to my good. I'm gonna get Joe first, man. Shout out to my good man Joe. One of the best feature writers out there. Very talented individual. Joe, I'm proud of you, man. Fight TV need to stop playing with you and get you on those fight codes, man. Tell them stop hating on you, bro. They hate. That's all they out here giving wrestlers codes to retweet themselves. Oh my! I'm not even gonna get into that. You know, we're gonna leave that alone. But Joe, congratulations on all your success, man. Very well deserved. Proud to see all the work that you've been putting in over the past year on Fightful and got your own website. So big ups on that. My man Jeremy, one of the coolest dudes I've been able to meet through this wrestling media. Funny story that y'all don't know. When I was at Starcast in November, I needed to what's the name? I needed to get some change because the vending machine wouldn't take certain dollar bills. I swear it had to be like 1 a.m. or something. I had hit up Jeremy. I was like, bro, let me get some change. And then I gave him the bill I had, and then he slapped me, and then I was able, So Jeremy, good dude, man. I know Jeremy for 3 years now. One of the coolest dudes I've been able to meet. Hardest working guys I know. Shout out to you, Jeremy. Much love to you, brother. Joe and Jeremy, congratulations to y'all on the Distraction, and keep it going. Don't tank the ship, please don't. Don't tank the ship. All right, don't tank the ship. That's all I got to say. I ain't gonna bury y'all, but I will say that Joe won the first ever last Distraction, so I'm gonna just leave that the way it is, and I'm out.
I can't do another spit take. Thank you, Andrew.
He's the gold standard, right, for this program. He's made the show so much better than it should be on his appearances. So yeah, he's the best. We love
every guest we've ever had on. Andrew is my favorite. I don't care who else has been on the show. Andrew is the person who's welcome back more than anybody. Sorry, everybody else, but yeah, Andrew, the job he did last week hosting that thing was incredible. And dude, I'll say it all the time. Andrew's the best at what he does when it comes to the news writing, and he does interviews and everything else as well. He's fucking great. And
also we have experience of winning championships together, right? I mean, I came in, I knocked some shots down off the bench.
You're Sean Livingston. You came in as Sean Livingston.
I was solid. I mean, I was Matt Barnes. We've discussed this before. I didn't play the finals, but I watched. I got my ring. They were great times, short times, but still a great time. That's when I got to know you guys, which really is the root of this show, right? Really, that and the TW series and such.
Sean says she would have a show if y'all didn't do fucking 4 a week. We do 2, and then 1 every other week, and then we do Twitch stuff. Why do we do so much? Oh, I mean, yes, Andrew, let's go. Yeah, that has been the shitty thing about like this pandemic is like I met Andrew in 2019 at Starcast, and like that was great, like hanging out with him all weekend and everything. And like I was looking forward to going to so many shows this year. Like we're gonna do Mania week, and of course all that stuff happened. But yeah, that's been a shitty thing about this pandemic, because I was really looking forward to hanging out with guys like Andrew and now all the other people I've met and interacted with. And this pandemic stopped all that. Akash, I'm sorry. I did not see your super chat. I will scroll back up and get it.
Oh, ignore him. Ignore Akash Sharma. You have no time. Oh, bullshit.
Congrats. I have the misfortune of knowing Joe in real life, and the time he spends doing this is the only time he isn't annoying me. So thanks, Jeremy. My favorite show was when you pretend Cena's album isn't a classic. Is your real life friend?
Yes, it's filth. He's absolute filth. He lingers on these programs. He gets screenshots of me. He sends me messages mid-show knowing I'll look at them in the middle of it. It's filth. It's wrong. I'm not happy about him being platformed here, but yes, he's tremendous. Thank you, Akash. I appreciate it.
At least you have friends who like listen to your show and stuff. No, none of my friends do. They don't even know I do this show.
I mean, you don't need to go plural with it. It's just one friend. Like that's all. That's your way is definitely better. Trust me. I get enough shit from this. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't have anyone that listens or supports this show. So let's see. We had another cameo. What cameo are we gonna go with here? Trying to pick. All right, let's go. Our good buddy Alex Pulowski.
Hi, it's me. Like James Harden being traded to the Nets. It's another malcontent fat guy showing up and ruining the proceedings. Happy 100th episode of The Distraction. To you and you, whichever one. Jezza and the Chubby Chief, or is it Jezza and the... I'm not sure. From the only guy who hates Raw more than you two suckers, congratulations. And here's to several hundred more.
Plowski thinks we're at 100. We're at a year.
I mean, we've got to be close, though, right? Surely we're close. So,
I mean, if you count all of them, then yeah, it's probably at 100.
Okay,
right?
if anyone in the world wants to count those, I promise we'll reuse that show when we hit 100. That clip when we get 100.
Yeah.
Wow. Even Pawlowski was like, man, I ain't bringing out the big guns for this shit. Like, I've got like 90-minute shows to do. I got to reserve my energy for this. But there you go. I appreciate Alex. He was one of the great guests. I love his like NBA exclusive cameo. I thought it was great.
I love the James Harden reference in his cameo there. Yeah, Pawlowski, we got to do like an actual wrestling show with him. I remember when he came on when we were talking before the show, and I was like, oh yeah, Alex is going to join us at 4:00 to talk basketball. And that's when you were like, remember when the show was going to be like 45 minutes, 5 minutes a topic, and now you're booking guests for
the hour mark
time slots.
Yeah, like we're a radio show. Like, tune in at 4 for Alex. He'll be coming on to talk NBA. Like the original message which we've shared on social before is like, your exact words were 45 minutes, get in, get out. And it's like, God, it takes us like 20 minutes to get out of these shows. The outro has been some of the longest segments, but there you go. That's what we do, I guess. I don't know.
In fairness, I said it in that message. I was very high that night. It was like 2 a.m. And I sent you that because I wanted to do this podcast. And yeah, that was my idea at the time. And then we actually did the show. And I was like, man, we have too much fun to like try to limit this to 45. Like that's really what it is. It's not that we have a bunch of topics to like get to and stuff, but it's really, we just have too much fun doing this. Be like, oh, 45 minutes, it's over.
Look, there's very few things I would say that we're like objectively good at, but filling time with nothing is definitely one. Like if we're good at one thing, it's that, right? I mean, again, Tuesday, that was an all timer. But we can just talk nonsense about not even wrestling, just sort of vaguely interesting topics and say nothing, but inexplicably fill up a long time. So there you go. It's fun.
Taxel says, congratulations, guys. Hope the distraction lasts a very long time. My favorite thing on YouTube. Thank you, Taxel. It lasted 25 years.
There's a lot of good stuff on YouTube, Taxel. You should look around. You know, there's some really cool shit out there.
We're the best. What are you talking about? We are the absolute best thing on YouTube.
I mean, I appreciate the fault. I don't know if I believe it, but it's still very cool. There you go.
Do you have any memories, Joseph? Anything that just stands out to you that pops you that we've done besides everything?
You know, it's funny you asked this. Joel Pearl messaged me and was like, do you remember any like
I know what these messages are.
He's like, you know any standout bits? And I was like, dude, like I remember Baywatch, which we'll get to in a second. And I remember the take a bit I already spoke about here, but it's like, other than like Jeremy's like outwardly hilarious bits, like when you'd stand up and do something, the actual stuff that comes within conversation, like I have no clue, guys. I have no clue when that was, what time that came, what we were talking about. I just remember laughing a lot. But Baywatch was like, I remember you was in tears almost on that show, right?
Yeah.
So that was incredible, man. That was only like a week after, I think anyway. For the longest time, we would do this show and I couldn't see Jeremy. So I would just be like, I would be playing off of his audio. So if I said something that I deemed funny and he was muting his mic, I would have no clue that he also thought it was funny. You would, I wouldn't. So I think Baywatch was quite soon after that. And I remember saying to him, like, I'm so thankful that I know, because you had to mute yourself just to not explode, like just burst out on the mic. So that was great. That was a great one. That was probably our best movie review, I would say, right?
For sure. It was like a month or two that like it was a weird when using OBS, like the camera wouldn't work. And I was like, well, as long as the other people, the audience can see me, it's fine. Like, you don't have to see me. It's okay. And it was legit like a month or two. You could not see me when we would do these shows. Like, imagine trying that now, of where you couldn't see all the stuff that I'm doing and you're trying to just react to it and play off of it. It wouldn't work at all. But yeah, there was, when we talked about the technical issues we would have, it was rarely on air. Like on air, we would get through and it would be smooth and it'd be fine. Like off air, we would spend like 20 minutes before shows, more than that, like 30 minutes, 40 minutes before shows, like just trying to get like audio set, video set, cropping and everything. And it's so much easier now with StreamYard, and even with like the Twitch stuff with XSplit, it's so much easier than using OBS. There was the time where like my computer screen, you have the screenshot, it was your avatar where it was like 4 of you, because like my computer screen was so screwed up that like that's what I would see, is everything was just like 4 or 5 of everything.
One of my memories actually comes from the technical issues that we became sort of known for talking about, because as you said, on air, like I'll freeze every once in a while, but it's never like crazy really by our standards. Off air, like I will always remember They Live and us doing that review, and you'd be like, dude, it's fuck. Like, I don't know what to do with it. And I don't know what actually is out there, because I don't watch this show, guys. I'm sorry, I can't watch it. It's just too awkward for me. So I don't know how much of that review you've seen, but like there was a
nobody's
moment
seen
there,
any of it. The
visual,
video's
right?
gone. Yeah,
right. And like here's the scoop, guys. Okay. We like pretended that we had done a bit that we had forgot to do because we knew you guys would never see it. So we did this whole thing about like, oh, Joe had the sunglasses on, and it's like, what actually happened is, as soon as we finished recording, Jeremy said to me, Joe, you 100% should have wore the sunglasses, because we did the whole like, you know, critic versus just fan thing. That was a great one too. Again, I don't know what, like, you know, what version of it people listen to, but it was very fun to do. All the film reviews, especially initially when we were fresh to it, they were great. Right, that was a great time.
Jay says Baywatch, my review is 4.25 stars. Yes. Yeah, the film review started off really fun, and then as we've learned watching these movies, just there ain't much to them, and you can only get so much out of them. I remember you started the first bit was Zig or Zag, right? Like the first game.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
We needed stuff, right? We just needed stuff to get through those shows.
I remember you messaged me and you were like, I've got a game, Jeremy. And I was so scared. I messaged the now girlfriend, and I was like, Joseph has a game. I'm very worried about what's going on here. And she's like, huh? I was like, I'm deathly afraid of doing this show right now. And then it turned out great. And I was trying to strap bombs to kids. We don't like kids on this show. I've learned that too, is that we just hate kids on this show.
And that was like an angle that we started and then got paid off when we had someone on the show that had like 5 screaming kids around him. And that was like our payoff. Yeah. That was our equivalent of Darby rolling up Cage, right? Like that was our payoff. But no, I mean, the game has became a bit in itself, because every week it would be the same game just with different names, right? Like it would just be the exact same thing. Just I've just come up with a title this week. Like it was outrageous. I remember the Bobby Roode one being like an all-time stretch. Like he wasn't even in the film, and I had to just do Bobby Roode.
But the Bobby Roode one came with that was when we discovered how good of friends Rock and Ziggler were, right?
Oh, that was a strong bit too.
Yeah.
That was actually very funny, yeah. And like live on air, I was like freezing in excitement because Dolph and Rock were friends on Twitter. That was great.
Let's go to a cameo. Here we go.
A year. 1 year. I'm gonna be honest. I really didn't think that you two bozos would make it a minute, much less a year. But, you know, that's the internet these days. In all seriousness, though, I love you two like no other. And I can't tell you enough how appreciative I am that you guys allow me to go on this journey with you a few times a year. And it's been nothing but an enjoyable experience to watch you two take this idea that you guys had, which I thought I did legitimately think was great from the start, and you've turned it into something special. And I can't wait to see where it goes from here. I do. I love you two like brothers, and I hope to make more appearances with you in the future, very near future, now that my schedule is calming down a little bit. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep watching, and I'm going to keep cheering you guys on. And best of luck in the near future.
Jeez, that was pretty emotive, Jeremy. That kind of got me a little bit. You know, I appreciate the message from everyone, but like Jeremy will tell you, like when Jack comes on this show, bro, it's crazy. I mean, I had never spoken to that man before until he came on the show, and we legitimately sat there and spoke about wrestling for like 2 hours.
So a couple stories off of this. One, when Jack says he was in, immediately he was. When I tweeted like Joseph and I are going to do a podcast, Jack was one of the first people to reply. He's like, I'm in, I'm listening. Like, I love you guys, I'm listening. I didn't know what your relationship was with him. I'd worked with Jack at Fansided, and we'd have always gotten along well. I'd never spoken to him like on the phone, like audio, but we've always DM'd and stuff like that. The first time he came on was like we did that double feature show because I was going to take that week, the following week off. I was going on vacation or something. And so Andrew was on for 45 minutes and Jack was on for 45 minutes. And we did the Andrew show. How did we do this? We did a show before this. I think we did like a movie show. First.
No, I think we did our like normal Thursday and then got the next in. I think is what we did.
Yes, you're right. So we did our normal Thursday show and then we did the show with Jack. And then a little while later, we did the show with Andrew and I cropped them together. So we did the Thursday show and I'm sitting here having to like upload, do all the tags and stuff, do all that stuff. Joseph and Jack are talking just like about everything wrestling for a good 40 minutes while I'm just sitting here like trying to get the show up in time and making sure it's scheduled. Cause that's when we taped it and we uploaded it at 7:00. Mm-hmm. So I'm here trying to do all this stuff, working on different computers. And you guys were just bantering for a good like 40 minutes before we actually started taping that portion of the show. I didn't know you guys had never talked before that.
Literally like 1 or 2 like DM conversations. That's just people that you interact with, like quickly talk to them in DMs. Like it was such an incredible thing. And we need to get him on more and he's going to be on more. That was the plan, right? But just such a great dynamic. One of those people that like, he's just great at talking pro wrestling. Yeah. And, much more beyond that, he's far better than just that comment. But for what we do here, it's like, man, you can take him anywhere in conversation about wrestling. Like, you're going to have fun with it. And he was fabulous on the draft show, which we should have mentioned is one of my all-time favorite things because we got heat over that where I pitched it to you at like 4 a.m. my time, whatever it was. And like, it was a whole thing, but I knew the show would be great. And I think you did too. And like Jack was great on that. Jack's the best.
So Jack's cameo was going to lead me to talk to the draft show. Joseph does message me at like 4 a.m. and he's just like, Jezza, here's the idea. Like, let's have our pals on. Let's do a draft show. Can we do that? And this is when like I was still using like OBS and stuff and like the technical headache of that stuff. And I was like, yeah, like we'll figure it out. And then I like tweeted something. I was like, I love when Joseph just messaged me at 4 a.m. Like, here's my idea. And I just figured it out and it works. And you thought like this was a shoot. And I was like mad at you over this. Like, what's going on? And like, I felt very bad that it happened. It played out that way because I was not trying to upset you at all with that. I was just, being stupid on Twitter as I am. And then that became a thing between us for like 12 hours and I slept and you slept and it was fine. But I do legitimately love like a lot of your ideas. Like, remember the NBA trade deadline show? You're like, can we just do this live? Yeah. Is this a thing? I was like, yeah, sure. I'll figure it out. Like, I legitimately love when you message me at 4 a.m. and like, here's my idea. And we end up figuring out. It's always great.
Right. I mean, that was on me. Like, it was like early and I saw the tweet and I was like, but that is kind of the dynamic. Like, I mean, you're very much an ideas person too, but like, I am so limited to that lane. Like, Jeremy will tell you, like, sometimes I'll text him and be like, this is a new article I'm going to do. And it'll be up that night. Like, I'll just do it. Like, so that's the way my brain works. But I can't really, I'm not skilled enough to control such things with this show. So when I pitch these things, sometimes I forget Jeremy has to actually do the work with it. However, I think we both, we quickly figured out it was like a nothing thing, but the actual show itself was great, right? Like, what a tremendous experience that was.
The draft show, a few things on that. I got heat over with the bosses because I was tweeting like, this is the death of the show. This is over. Like, I'm going to die. Like, it's just done. And Sean's like, don't promote the show this way. Like, He's like, Jimmy's concerned. Like, what are you doing? I was like, all right, I get it. I was legitimately deathly afraid of this show because not like I know you well, I know Jack well. I only know O'Neill from his Twitter personality. Big Twitter personality. Didn't know what to expect when he came on the show. And we got
Joseph and Jeremy. What is up, my friends? Actually, hold on 1 second here. Ugh. There we go. Yeah, Joseph and Jeremy. 1 year of the distraction. Congratulations to you both. Listening to you two, one of the highlights of my week every week, and I hope you guys keep this up forever. To be honest with you, hopefully you bring me back into the fold as much as possible. I think that's something that people really like, but. Yeah, no, for real though. Congratulations. Keep up the good work. I look forward to what's next for both of you.
O'Neill just booking himself on the cameo here.
What a guy, O'Neill. In all seriousness, 2020 was a big year of like, I feel like I left that year better than I entered it. Bro, I'm nowhere close to as good as O'Neill has done in that regard. He's in a way better place now. He's figured out the shit that really matters. I mean, relatively speaking, like we're on Twitter, that's still lame, right? But he's doing better. He understands stuff better. He has a better perspective on things. I do too. That's not me saying he was like wrong before. I'm just saying he will tell you himself. Like he has kind of figured out stuff and he sees things from a wider view. Like he's a great dude as much as when he's on this show. Inevitably, I'll be dunking because that's just what he is, right? But he's a great dude. I love Big Bob and his hat.
See, I only knew him from Twitter, and he's like a big personality on Twitter. And so I thought, oh God, these three and myself on this draft show, it's gonna get out of control. And he came in like super serious and was not trying to play like bits and banter. Yeah, he wasn't trying to do any of that. He was like, all right, this is a real thing. We're drafting, we're making trades, and like when I felt that, and I felt that pretty quickly, I was like, all right, this is fine. This is going to be fun.
I love the contrast. Jack came on and he was on like 15 minutes before Rob came into the stream thing. And Jack was like, can you like show me who's on the roster? Like, I don't know what's going on. And O'Neill came in after just filming another draft on his own pod, I think it was, which check out on his Twitter and all that stuff. But like, he came on like, here we go, like shuffling his papers, like, here we go, time for a victory here on. Jack's like, show me the roster list. I need to figure out who's next to UK. Like, it was great. We said this on Tuesday, but it's like, that needs to be an annual show. Like, it has to be. It's with those four guys, maybe, in time we'll have, but like, that's a core four, right? In Bullet Club terms, that's the best stuff. That's great.
Yeah, the draft show is certainly an annual thing. And then the last take show that we did last week, I feel like is going to be an annual thing. People don't know like how nervous we were before that show last week, like just full of nerves. Like even Andrew was nervous. He's like, why am I so nervous about doing this? And I was like, because like it's a bit show instead of, just us like bantering and doing nonsense. And so that's why it felt more nerve wracking than before. But that show last week, I'm most proud of that show last week because it was a full bit show that we kept up the entire time. Like we broke each other multiple times, but we kept it up the entire time, and it was tremendous.
There's been 2 times doing the show that I've had any nerves whatsoever. Okay, one was last week because I didn't know how it was going to come across. The other is when we interviewed Michael Thompson, and this is an all-time distraction, which I've only just remembered when you said the word nervous. So I'm pretty chill about this because, like, while I get that it's cool, it's not like Michael Thompson I've watched my whole life and I'm like, oh shit, I'm a huge mark for him, right? Like, he's just a name to me. So like, I'm getting ready to do this show, and Jeremy's like, Joe, like, I watch some stuff, pretty strong accent, like, be wary. Right? Like, he comes on the show, and my sound, for whatever reason, like when he entered the call, got all jarred. So he legitimately sounded like a cyborg to me. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be, I have no clue what he's saying. And then when it was his actual accent, I was like, oh, it's fine. But my audio or my sound messed up for that moment. And I also with him, it's like, you didn't know how it was going to play. What a great moment that was for this show, by the way, right? Like he came on and was just like, let's just talk wrestling. Let's talk about it. It was brilliant. I love that.
The Michael Thompson show. So it happened after he tweeted about Eddie Kingston, and like wrestling Twitter got a hold of it and everything. And I was just taking shots on Twitter. I was like, hey, we do a basketball and wrestling podcast. Do you want to come on? And Joseph will tell you my state of mind when I'm sending these tweets and stuff. And he's like, yeah, sure, email me. And I messaged Joseph. I'm like, is this real? Like, is this like happening? Like, did he say this? Is this really going on? And you're like, I don't know. I think so. It seems like it's happening. And then we got in contact. We emailed. He came on the show. He had some outrageous takes.
They ruled, though. He delivered them with such vigor that you couldn't care. It was just great. My favourite moment was when he was trying to remember the Triple H faction. He was like, he was like the NWO, the Four Horsemen.
Him saying Triple H was better than Bret Hart, and I had to call him out. The now girlfriend messaged me and was like, "This is outrageous. No way that this is happening."
It was incredible. It was great. I mean, he was tremendous, and like that whole just weird week where like he tweets about wrestling a lot, but inexplicably he went so far with the takes for that week that he was on the timeline all the time. Like,
yeah.
I mean, now he's on my timeline anyway because I follow him, of course, because he's a great star of this show. But that was definitely a highlight. That was one of those moments of like, what are we actually doing here? This is insane.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Everybody's interviewing all these people, and we're like, I don't know. We got NBA champion Michael Thompson on the show. Like,
I mean, I think that's one of the like weird little triumphs within this show is that like I've never interviewed anyone. Jeremy is a pro; he's more experienced in it. But like doing 2-man interviews like in this format isn't like easy. And I would say now we've done it a handful of times, and we're pretty confident with that, right? Like from the first time, I think it went pretty well. So there you go. That was fun.
I think Ricky was our first 2-person interview. Yeah. And like, I don't like doing interviews. I don't think I'm good at interviews. And so I don't like doing them. But when we did the interview with Ricky, it was so comfortable with just all three of us going in and asking questions and stuff. And I thought you were tremendous. And like how you handled it and stuff. I was like, I don't know if I like want to do an interview unless it's without Joseph. Like I always want to do these interviews with him.
That's wild to me, but I appreciate it. I mean, it was different for me, but like it was easy with Ricky because, as you said, it was super relaxed, like the way he came on. But it's also like I was actually genuinely interested in his answer. I'm a fan of his work. I mean, now he's the biggest star in wrestling, so that was really in many ways in the history books, Jeremy. It was a big deal then, but like when he's main event in Double or Nothing in front of 400,000 people, I mean. We'll look back at fondly, right? It was great times. But yeah, we
look back when we talked to him about wrestling a broomstick in his garage at the start. Yeah.
It was a different time, bro. It was a different time.
It really was. We got a couple more cameos. Let's go. We have literally 2 more cameos.
Oh.
The boss sent in a cameo. I assume he just fires us.
The Distraction, 1 year old. Jeremy, Joe, I'm so proud of you guys. You've seen such great growth, especially over the last few months, which is not easy to do in such a crowded space in wrestling. But you guys have something fresh. You have something unique. And most importantly, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to edit your audio. I don't have to set an itinerary. I should probably supervise you guys for some reason, but I ain't doing that. So more power to you. Here's to many, many more. Happy birthday to the Distraction.
Sean was very kind. I was expecting him to go full burial there.
It was really sincere and nice, but you saw the real attraction of this show, which is that Sean could just leave us dumbfucked. Leave them 2 dipshits to themselves. They'll be fine. They may get in some trouble, but not enough people watch to care. They'll be fine. Their audience knows what's going on over there, which is, I mean, that's what we are really. That's beautiful. I'm for that.
The one time he wanted to make sure I wasn't going to do anything was the ass cheeks bit. He said, "You're not actually going to show your ass cheeks, are you?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. Don't worry." So there was that. I've said this before. Like I thought I was fired after last week. Like anytime we do something outrageous, I am just thinking like we're in trouble. I'm so in trouble. Like this isn't going to happen. But he told me last week, he's like, I don't care. Like it's y'all's show. You know the line well. Like I don't care. Just you've been doing this for a year and nothing's been too out of control to where I've had to rein it in. So I trust what you're doing. So it's been good.
It was funny last week to pull back the curtain a little bit. It's like we kind of had an idea of how the show was going to conclude. Well, I didn't. Jeremy did, right? And like that was how we were going to direct things. And so the show is obvious. I don't know when it ended for you guys, but Jeremy, when he intended to end the stream, it didn't end. So Andrew, who was led by the direction of like, Jeremy's going to close this show out, was like, I guess we'll just finish this, Joe. You got any final comments? And in the meantime, you just see Jeremy like scrambling, like, I'm still mad about this result. God damn it. It was great. And that is what I think it really captured the insanity of that show, right? The way it ended. I don't know how it came out, but that's the way it was doing it.
I rewatched the ending bit on YouTube because I wanted to gift the spit take. It did end on YouTube on time. Like I threw the jacket and I was like, the show's over. And Andrew was like so unprofessional. And that's when it ended right then. So like the after banter, because I noticed it wouldn't end. I think it was a holdup on like the Twitter stream, like the Periscope stream. So if you're watching on Periscope, you got like the after bit. If you were watching on YouTube, it was just you got it. It ended when it needed to correctly end. That ending bit was what it was supposed to be. The spit take was I was just happened to be drinking my Dr. Pepper when Andrew was about to announce it. And so I held off because I was just thinking a spit take would be really good right here. Because I knew he was going to crown you the winner behind the scenes. I knew Joseph was going to win.
I didn't win anything. It was all, we're tributing the business, right? That's the way.
Right. So I knew that was going to happen, and I was taking a drink, and I didn't know that was when he's going to do it. I was like, oh man, a spit take right here would be tremendous. I was so hesitant on it, and my walls still have like Dr. Pepper on them over there because I did a poor job cleaning them. But yeah, I was like, it'll be funny. And so that was called on the fly, Joseph. Just called that spot right on the fly.
You know what I didn't know, and I've just realized is you'll hear our friend of the show, TK, will often say, the Fight TV version of Dynamite is the one that as a tape trader he would be going for because it has the ads in. And I've just learned here that if you're a tape trader for the distraction, you're looking for that Periscope feed, brother. That's the one with the 5-second gems on the end of it. So there you go. There's a little factor for you, but that's fun. I love it.
Drew Nicholas says the Rock Ziggler rundown episode was hilarious, also because you were reviewing Raw, which you definitely had watched. I remember you accurately reviewed most of it because Raw is atrocious.
Oh, because that's what guided us towards the arse cheek stuff with Bob, right? That was the whole deal.
Yes. I don't know if I've said on this program, but like I had nothing planned for that bit. Like absolutely nothing planned. I was going to just bend over and be like, here's my ass cheeks. And Tank Bearclaw messages me like 2 hours before the show. And he's like, you should have the Booty Pro logo, Booty Pro Wrestling logo taped to your butt. And I was like, oh my God, you've completely saved this bit because otherwise it's just me bending over and it's nothing. Even that bit got messed up because the camera position wasn't well. So I had to do it twice. But like if Tank doesn't message me that, all you're seeing is just my butt.
I think I said it on that show, but I was like, this just feels like it's going to be like the most like blunt, and there's no depth to this bit at all. It's just literally.
Yeah, that's what it was going to be if he doesn't message me. Like,
there you go. Tank's he's a huge win for this show, right? Makes the show better just by like his interactions with us. He's tremendous.
Yeah, Tank is awesome. Let's see, we're at an hour 7. We'll do one more cameo, Joseph, and then we'll wrap up us just filleting ourselves here.
This is the original Death Dealer Luther wishing the distraction a happy anniversary. 10 years. 10 years of hitting the broadcasting, podcasting road. You know, you guys deserve everything that you get, all the accolades. You know, at 10 years, you get to write it in, to phone it in, to be a little tired, a little. What? It's not 10. It's 1 year. 1 year, and that's the best effort that they have after 1 year. But in all seriousness, distraction. I love the show. Happy anniversary, 1 year. I've been a listener since day one. I love it. As I said in your podcast, and I mean, Jeremy and Joe, you guys are like the Lennon and McCartney of Fightful. So keep it up. And here is to an actual 10 years, because I'll still be here, and I know so will you. So happy anniversary, guys, and I'll be listening for the whole year too. Pray for blood.
Lennon and McCarthy, Joseph.
That's one for the Twitter bio, my friend. Def dealing. Look at that. Compliment dealing right there. Luke, bro, when he was going the route of like phoning it in, I was like, I'm really hoping this is the bit I hope, like, I'm expecting to be, like, because it's perfect for this. He's so right too, right? Like the bit is actually accurate. How is this our effort levels after just a year at this show, Jeremy? I don't know. I mean, we've literally just spent an hour and 10 minutes just putting ourselves over and letting other people do it. This is terrible. This is a catastrophe. But if there's one thing this show will have as a lasting legacy, it is the correlation between our run and Luther's run. And I'm happy with that, man. Like I said it then, I'll say it again. Him coming on this show, I waited because I hoped he would be an appearance. That's the real highlight of this show to me, man. That was an awesome moment. Like we just did a distraction episode with Luther. It was really fun. That was great.
Being able to do that episode, I've said this many times. I don't know how much I've said on air, but like I tried to get this set up literally after he met Sean and did the haircut, because Sean messaged when he got his haircut at AEW. He messaged, he's like, "Oh, I talked to Luther like about your show," and I was like afraid because like our second show was the thumbnail that I'm using now, like his debut, and we talked about that, and like we thought it was hilarious and great and everything. And Sean's like, "I met Luther. We talked about your show." I was like, "Oh shit, does he want to kill us?" He's like, "No, he thought it was hilarious. Like he thought it was great." He's like, "Oh, that's awesome." And then we started DMing and everything. And, you know, we wanted to get on the show as quick as possible because we found out he was a fan of it. And we were very early into our run. We had to go through AEW and stuff. Things just, pandemic happened, whatever. It was a big ordeal. And then finally, like 2 months ago, we were able to make it work. And it was like, that's probably my favorite show we've done because right. Like it literally, like it's not even in an interview. It's our show with Luther, and it was just so much fun.
Yeah, and you know, on a show where we compliment ourselves a lot, it's worth saying, like, it's worth admiring his character in a sincere fashion because, like, everyone's defensive about the way they're perceived, right? Like a pro wrestler has to be. That's their whole living is how they're perceived. It's all performance art, and like. But there's no shame in saying, like, we used him for a bit on this show. And it wasn't mean-spirited. I mean, we can defend ourselves in that sense, but it was a bit. We used him for comedy. And, like, he could have easily been like, "Oh, look at these just absolute marks, ignore." But he found humor in that. And not only did he, like, you know, reach out and say as such, and he told to Sean, it's like, he then stuck with us, keeps interacting with us, when really we help his brand not one bit. I mean, he suggested otherwise. Luther, trust me, we do not help you at all, bro. We do not, okay? But, like, it really is admirable like how he handled the whole thing, and it makes me happy for him when I see him, like, you know, when he's on Dark, but when he's on Dynamite next week, by the way, check it out, next week he's on Dynamite again. So like, he's the man, he's the coolest guy, he's great. He's so nice, like so friendly, like the original Death Dealer stuff, like you wouldn't know that from his actual persona, where he's like messaging, "Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, how you guys doing?" Like he's just the friendliest fucking guy. And it's been great that, yes, it's great that like he didn't take it the way that he could have easily taken it and just been like, "Oh, these two dorks, you know, like what do they know?" and stuff. But he was like, "Yeah, you know what? They're having fun with it. It is fun." But yeah, Luther's the best. Are you wearing your Luther shirt? Did I see that? Oh, I am. Yes, hang on a second. Let me like, can I give me? There we go. There we go. I thought that was fitting. I don't know you like, you know, wear wrestling shirts on here, but he's our show in many ways, right? Yes. I think the moment I would always point to him as what most captures his character is when we try to get a bit out of him and Moxley. Yeah, we were like revving him up, like, "Come on, man! Like he's ducking you, right? Like, just give us a." And Luther was just like, "Well, I'm not saying nothing mean about John Moxley. He's the best." He was like, I have nothing to say about John Moxley. He's greatest." And I was like, "This guy is too nice. He's too nice." You know, like he could have just done a bit and no one would have thought anything of it. But he was like, "No, I refuse to say something bad about the John Moxley. He's the man." I agree with that, Luther. I also don't want to say anything bad about John Moxley. That was great. It's just a moment that speaks to him. I think it was tremendous. Hannah wants to know which one of us is Lennon. I guess we'll find out when one of us meets our fate. Depends how things pan out. You know, if in 60 years I'm doing stuff with wrestling media's Kanye equivalent, I guess that makes me the Kanye. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. Time will tell, I guess, right? That's for the audience to decide right now, Jeremy, if we're being honest. Anything else, Joseph? Any other? I think we've done more than enough celebrating ourselves. This has been glorious. Not even any burials, really.
I expected way more burials. When I messaged people, I was like, you can say whatever. You can bury us. Like, it'll be fun. Do whatever you want to do. And everyone was very kind and very nice, very surprising.
At some point, we're going to have to reach the conclusion that like people actually like us. I don't know why, but they actually do. Like we're continually surprised by this, but it's a real thing, I believe. I think people actually like us.
Super surprised that people actually like us.
Still don't get it, but apparently they do. So that's very nice. Very cool.
Guys, seriously, I've said it many times throughout the year, but like, I don't know where I would be in the Fightful community, the wrestling community, life without this show, because just like news writing, like I enjoy it. I can have fun with it and everything. But like, if you're just writing news all day, it gets very tedious and boring. And there's a lot of times like not too much creativity, and Fightful allows that more than any place else. But you know, you're still writing who won this match and stuff.
Right.
Without this show, I don't know where I would be. Like, being able to do this show first once a week and now 18 times a week with Joseph, it's been great. And I've said it, like, if we didn't do this show, I'd probably just talk to Joseph just on Skype and we just bullshit about wrestling just to pass the time and wind down and stuff, because that's something we both enjoy doing, and we're friends and we have good chemistry together and stuff. But thank you to everybody who has said something nice about us, to us, who has left a super chat, who has left a thumbs up, who has DM'd, who has sent something on, who has retweeted, like anything you've ever done to like support this show. Like thank you, because it's honestly overwhelming. It's still awkward and surprising to me. But yeah, thank you.
It's weird. One thing we didn't touch on is, we spoke about the technical issues and stuff, but it's like, we often joke about the best shows are the ones that take place after we've finished recording, right? Like, that was especially before we was live. And I'm hoping that, in year 2 with Twitch and stuff, we'll be able to like bring you guys into that. Because it's not like we're talking about stuff that's like, outlaw. It's more casual. But I vividly remember, Jeremy, like a couple months into this show, we recorded an episode and then legitimately sat there for like 3 hours and just talked about like just wrestling, and more than wrestling, but like that was really a moment where I was like, oh, this show's easy to do. Like, it isn't like we end the call and we're like, okay, this, like we just talk shop. So yeah, that's something that stands out. I know, like you said about the show, you don't know where you'd be in wrestling media. And it's like, bro, I know I wouldn't be in wrestling media without this show. Like, I was pretty much done. This show like brings me back, and it gives a whole new audience and insight into the stuff I've been doing for years. So in many ways, this is my presence in wrestling media, right? Like, so for that, it's forever saying I appreciate and hold tight. The fact that other people like it, that just makes it 10 times cooler. So yeah, same thing you said, man. Like, anyone that's said anything nice about the show, even hasn't said anything nice, just like watched it vaguely, cool, man. I appreciate it. It's been super cool.
Joseph, I lied. We have one more cameo.
Oh no.
Hello, Jeremy and Joseph. It's your third favorite co-host here. I want to, first of all, congratulate you both on 1 year of The Distraction. And I also want to say thanks for taking me in and calling me a friend, even though we're not really friends. At the same time, Elias never played the solos on the Universal Truth. And I will die on that hill. But I will congratulate you on a year. And to many more as The Distraction.
I'm so angry right now. I'm so angry. Joel Pearl, we have heat right now, and it's not even your fault. Jeremy Lambert, as the producer of this show, I am enraged. I have just opened up on this show, poured my heart out, and you say, we got one more cameo. Here I sit, thinking, oh, who has he got to do his cameo? Has he got the Fiend Bray Wyatt to do one? Has he got Ric Flair to do a cameo for us? No, it's Joel Pearl. Oh, great. We went from Sean Rossett to Lambert to Joel Pearl. Joel Pearl, I like you, Joel Pearl, okay? But this is not your fault. Jeremy Lambert, you should be ashamed of yourself. You've set him up to fail. I'm sure everyone watching this show for a split second there thought we were going to get something epic. And instead it was Joel sitting there saying about Elias's... That was bullshit. We can't. There's not one show we can do here that goes without a hitch, is there? Everything has to eventually fall over somehow. It's incredible. You know what? I'm done with this show. You two, you can. I'm out of here. That was a disgrace. I'm ashamed of what we've done. I apologise to the whole audience. I'm sorry.
He's the main event, Joseph. Main event Pearl.
He's Bobby Eaton on a good day, okay? And Bobby Eaton shouldn't go on after Flair and after Dusty. Okay?
He's Triple H and Orton going on after Hogan and Rock.
I'm telling you, the audience will agree with me. They will know what I'm saying. I thought we were about to get a big, blockbuster, and there was Pearl sitting there, staring me down. I love the job, Pearl. I'm just messing with it. There you go.
Everybody will be back maybe next Tuesday. I don't know. We're reviewing Glow. We're going to talk stuff. More importantly, twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming. In about 10 minutes or so, we're going to do a post show. We're actually like going to talk wrestling and stuff. Wrestling, hard and trade, basketball, stuff like that. So very casual, laid back stuff. Come join us there. We'll banter with you in the chat. Again, twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming. We'll be over there. Again, guys, sincere thank you to everybody who has supported and just supported and said anything about this show, watched the show, anything over the past year. It's not possible without all of you. Like, if nobody watches this show, Sean's probably like, yeah, it's over with. So thank you guys, sincerely. It means a lot to both of us. And we'll talk to you on Twitch.